Alright boys, we're gonna get straight into this one, and before we go into any stats or any of these units, I always like to start off with some notes, alright? So the first thing is that stats may vary, alright? They may not be the same. I believe there's a percentage route where some units may have more stats and better stats than others, and some units may have less, alright? So it's RNG based. Second of all, this is opinionated, so you may not follow my path. You may not think that this one's better, this one's not, this one sucks, this one's the best. So just get who you want, right? You don't have to follow me, but this is just from my research and what I've been like basically calculating on which one is the best out of all of them. Third of all, some of them may be situational with the addition of affinities, damage types, relics, grounds, hills, hill units, like and hybrids. All of these factors will definitely be put into depending on the situation you're in. Like maybe it might not be good for the new Black Clover event kingdom, may not be good for the legend stages, may not be good for the Halloween stages. It just really depends. And then finally, this list for me, or at least this ranking, will not include relics. Alright, relics are very overpowered, and honestly they could change the whole tide of this. Alright, this is just based off their evolution and just the evolution, no relics, because relics will buff the units depending on which one they get. And I do believe like Noelle gets like a crown or something that's probably gonna buff her, and the 5-leaf clover is gonna be a part of one of them, probably for like or something. It's gonna be crazy if you add relics into it. But once I do get that, you know, stats, I can put in relics. But for right now, since I don't have those stats, I'll only be basing this off their evolution while they're maxed. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and start off with number one. So number one, I have your boy Asta. Alright, so Asta, there's his stats: 70k damage, 43k DPS, 6.5 seconds for SPA, 25.5 range. He does multi-hit. He has a giant cone AoE. His affinity is physical. His attack type is ground. His place ability is 4, and I don't really think he has an ability. I'm pretty sure he just attacks. Now, I put here at number one because all these other units behind him, I'm gonna just say here, all these other units behind him aren't really the best. Like I said, not including relics, alright? They aren't really the best, so I'm really disappointed in some of them. Although Asta is absolutely crazy. His damage and DPS is something else. 70k with an SPA of 6.5. If you put divine or maybe godlike speed on this guy, it's gonna be nuts. Like he's gonna attack every like 4 seconds with 70k. That's amazing. That's amazing. Plus adding on the multi-hit, he's gonna destroy shield. Like this is gonna be good for, it's definitely gonna be good for like stages 2, I believe, for the legend stages, since that's what you need for the physical. Or am I tripping? Maybe that might be for the first one. Either way, Asta is definitely gonna shred through those legend stages that needs physical attack types, and overall just an amazing damaging ground unit. Nothing too special, just a damaging type of unit. Now for number two, I put your boy Luck. Alright, so Luck, he's the one that turns into the furry or the demon, whatever you want to call it. But here's his stats: 43,000 damage with a DPS of 28.6, an SPA of 6, a range of 40, and my house is burning down. I'll be right back. Alright, so just like I was explaining before I was rudely interrupted with my house burning down, his damage is 43,000 with a DPS at 28.6k, SPA of 6, a range of 40. He doesn't multi-hit. He has a large line AoE, which is pretty surprising. And there it goes again. His affinity is physical. He is a attack type of ground. You can only place 4 of these guys down, and he has an ability called Battle Lust. So basically every time he attacks and he's like able to keep attacking, he increases his damage by 5% every single time, and this stacks up until 25%. So this gets up to 50,000 damage, I believe. I don't know if you can stack it with Irwin, but if you can, that's pretty overpowered. Might even be better than Asta, but that only stays there if he keeps attacking. So if he doesn't attack for a while, he will lose his buff, and that's why I put him at number 2. Now for number 3, I got your boy Yuno. So Yuno honestly is probably one of the best hill units in the game, and since it's situational, this guy could be number 1, right? Depending if you need a hill unit or not, then go ahead. I believe Yuno is like top 2, top 3 hill units without relics, so yeah, he's definitely really good. But his damage 65,000, DPS 28.2k, SPA of 9.2 seconds, a range of 34. He does multi-hit. It's kind of like a Kamehameha, pretty sick. His AoE is a giant circle. His affinity is magic. He is a hill, and you can place 4 of these guys down, and I don't believe he has any like special ability. So this guy's just a damage hill type, so if you need a hill, definitely get him. And if he has a special relic, then like grind for that relic to become an even more overpowered character. Now Yuno's gonna be really useful for stage 2, I believe. I do remember that stage 2 was the magic one, so Yuno can get rid of a lot of units that have a weakness to magic, so get Yuno while he's there. Now for number 4, 4, I got your woman. You know, it's a woman this time. Noelle. So Noelle, damage of 47.3k, DPS of 31.1k, SPA of 7.6 seconds, a range of 31. Multi-hit? No, she just shoots a giant dragon, which is pretty sick. Her AoE is a giant circle AoE, her affinity is magic, attack type is ground, but the cool thing about her is that you could place 5 of her down. And one of her special abilities is not being buffed with Irwin. I don't know if that's a glitch or not, but every time I see Noelle being used in her evolved form, she doesn't get buffed by Irwin. Is that like is there something that I'm missing? Because if there is, if I'm missing with anything like the facts of these characters, then definitely leave it in the comments below because I need to know. But I've been seeing people not being able to buff her. Besides that, I put Noelle at number 4 because, you know, she's not really that crazy. She's a ground type. Her damage isn't all that. Her SPA is a little high, but the cool thing is that you can place 5 of her down, and she's a magic type, so she's gonna be useful for maps that need magic. But one of the other things is relics. All right, I already keep talking about this, but there was a mermaid crown, and I do remember her being in like this mermaid transformation thing where she has a crown and she's like overpowered. I don't know if that'll make her overpowered, but if it does, then Noelle could most definitely be number 1. But this ranking does not include relics, so that's just a note right there, right? She might be really overpowered, but I'm not including relics. And then finally, the most disappointing one for me is, of course, Yami. Alright, Yami was most definitely disappointing. They need to buff this man right now. Alright, his damage 45.5k, DPS of 31.3k, an SPA of 5.8 seconds, a range of 52. He doesn't multi-hit. He has a line AoE, a very thin line AoE. His attack type is physical. His affinity is physical. His attack type is ground. You can place 4 of them down, and nothing really special for what I've been seeing. I do believe the screen like flashes white or something. I don't know if that's me glitching out my screen, but yeah, it flashes white every time he attacks, which is pretty cool if that's a thing. But man, this guy is a disappointment. I don't know if I'm getting the stats wrong or if he has a special ability, but like from what I've been seeing, this man is not really that good. And I said last night, if they did my man Yami wrong, this man's attack was massive. The only thing he's really missing is width to his attack. You know, he has a very thin line AoE. So imagine Stark's line AoE, but thin it down to like a celery size. That's how small it is, alright? It's very, very small. I hate it because of that, but it is what it is. Honestly, if he has a relic or he gets buffed later on and he might be good, then he might like go up the rankings. But for right now, that's what I've been seeing, and that's why I put Yami at the bottom. You know, his line AoE is honestly bringing him back. Like his range, 52 range is really good, and 45k damage with the SPA of around 6 seconds is not too bad. But that line AoE, man, damn. So let's recap what we've said. So Asta number 1, Luck number 2, Yuno number 3, Noelle number 4, and Yami number 5. Relics don't really matter here because I'm not factoring them, but if it did, this might change up the whole thing. And also very situational, so if you need a heal unit, you might get Yami first, not Yami, Yuno first, because he's the only heal unit out of these guys. So yeah, here's my rankings. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If I missed something, leave a comment as well. But that's it. Good luck grinding this update.